Let's move on to how you give your answer. Now, this is a little bit tricky, and you're going to learn a little bit about me in this one. My background is IT consulting. So I used to work for one of the big consulting firms, one of the big four, and everything we needed to do in how we communicated had to be structured. I was scolded by my clients, I was scolded by my management if I didn't present information with a hierarchy of information. So I always needed to communicate what was the source of my information first. This is really important. Is my information just my opinion, or is my information a fact? That is very important for the audience because it helps them understand how much should I trust this information. If it's your opinion, that's okay. Maybe everyone is happy to get your opinion, but they need to know it's your opinion. If it's a fact, then tell them where the fact came from. Is it based on your market research? Is it based on some data? Is it based on Google Analytics? What's the source of the truth? So this is really a question of source of truth. We don't do this enough. Whenever I interview native English speaking people, and I interview a lot of native English speakers for big companies here in Tokyo, I always know how smart they are by how they structure their answers. The quality of their answers, well, it's not as important as how they structure their information. Because we can teach people things, but it's very difficult to train people how to think logically. So if you don't have this skill, trying to start trying to think in that way if you want to be successful at some of these big international companies or with your international clients. So number one, state the source. Is it an opinion or is it a fact? Number two, if you want to talk about some pros or you want to talk about some cons, give people the number. So what I mean here is, say there are three pros, or there are two pros, or there are five pros. Don't say five. Never say more than three. Three is enough. But why is it important to say the quantity? Well, here's a conversation that I had last week. Somebody was talking about the pros of a project that we're doing at one of my clients. It's an IT project. And he didn't tell us how many. And he started with the first benefit of his solution. And he talked about it, and everybody started jumping on top and talking and talking and talking and talking. And finally, we ran out of time. And at the end, he said to everybody, but wait, there are two more important benefits. But we didn't know that. So we couldn't manage time. Again, this is about expectation management. Manage the expectations of the people you're communicating with. If you have three things you want to talk about, don't just talk about them because nobody knows you have three things. Say, I have 3 points, or there are three benefits we need to talk about, or there are two big disadvantages of this project. But always give the quantity. The quantity is really, really helpful. Okay, finally, you've got a choice. And now, some people find this challenging, okay? If you had three benefits for something, three benefits, how do you organize those benefits mentally? Benefit one, benefit two, benefit three. Are all of the benefits the same power? Are they all the same value? If they are, this is called a flat structure. And that's okay if they are all equally important. But to be a little bit more logical and powerful in how you communicate, It's nicer if your audience can understand the priority. So benefit one, benefit two, benefit three. Or maybe benefit two is the most important. Benefit two, benefit one, benefit three. So you can have hierarchical information. Both directions are okay, but personally, I always enjoy hierarchical information because that's how business works. When there are three benefits or there are three advantages or three solutions, we don't always have time or energy to listen to everything or to invest or to spend money on everything. We have to focus on priorities. So this is how we do it. Something like this. If you're giving an opinion, make sure you start at the top by saying the way I see it, or in my opinion, or I think. It doesn't matter what you say, but make sure you communicate it's only an opinion. But on the other side, if it's a fact, explain the source of that fact. Hey, our market data show, our Google Analytics data show, 2 years ago, we had an example that shows. So always talk about the source of truth. And this is a word we hear all the time in international business. Source of truth. Is it just your opinion or is it based on fact? If it's just your opinion, that's okay, but tell everybody, I think, in my opinion, the way I see it. If it's based on fact, tell them where it came from. The data show, our Google Analytics data show, our customer survey data show, wherever it comes from. Interviewing our staff, folders, da 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 da. Now, very simple, we say the number of benefits. There are two clear benefits. So again, pro and con, use variety of language. There are three important advantages. There are two clear downsides. There are three important drawbacks. Saying this helps everybody manage their expectations, and you can manage your meeting schedule a little bit better as well. If all of your benefits or all of your drawbacks are the same level of importance, you're going to go that side, flat hierarchy. If it's two, you're going to say both. There are two clear benefits, both equally important. So we've got two words here, equally and similarly. Equally means perfectly the same. Similarly means almost the same. So kind of flat. If you have two, you're going to use the word both. Three, all. Four, all. Five, all. Just like this. The way I see it, there are three clear benefits and all equally important. That's a great way to start my answer. I don't just say, hey guys, I have a benefit. Here's a benefit. I really logically structure. I tell the audience, this is just an opinion. I say there are three, and then I say the hierarchy is flat, just like this. Hey guys, yeah, the way I see it, there are three clear benefits and all equally important. Firstly, da 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 da. Secondly, da 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 da. Thirdly, da 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 da. So then I'm going to talk about my benefits. But look at the difference now. I'm managing my audience. So I'm not communicating just to pass information. I'm communicating to pass information, but also to qualify the information, to manage the expectations, and to communicate the hierarchy of that information. That's why in this webinar, we go beyond eikaiwa. These are the skills you need to be more successful communicating with overseas professionals, because this is how business professionals communicate. Yeah, I could talk a long time about this. But one time somebody asked me, hey, Nick, what's the difference between business English and casual English? The answer is, it's not so much the English, it's more the thought process and the logical steps you take to communicate. So notice I'm communicating much higher quality information using this process. If I want to show that there's a hierarchy of information, then I simply need to start by saying, okay, so the way I see it, there are three clear benefits. Above everything else, the main advantage of this project is that, da 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 da, and finally, da 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 da. It doesn't matter what you say next, but you want to highlight that the first thing you say is the most important, above everything else. Above everything else, the main benefit of da 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 is. So here we go. Let's look at two examples. Example number one is I'm giving my opinion on the benefits of this new project, and all of the benefits have a flat hierarchy. Here we go. Hey, John. Yeah, thanks for asking. Well, the way I see it, there are three clear benefits to this project, and all of them, all similarly important. Firstly, da da da. Secondly, da da da. Finally, da 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 da. But I'd like to hear everybody else's ideas too. That's how I deal with that situation. Situation number two, I'm going to give the my data share on some of the negative, the cons of this project. And the first one I say is the biggest one, and then the others are lower. It's going to sound like this. Well, thanks for the question. Our customer data show that there are three clear disadvantages to doing this project. Above everything else, the main drawback of the project is da 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 da. After that, another disadvantage is da 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 da. So I'm clearly showing that there's a hierarchy of information. All right. For some people, this might be challenging to internalize. If you're following me, great job. If you're not following me, that's okay. Just keep doing your best and you're going to get there. The goal of this webinar is not to replace your Eikaiwa program. If you have a good Eikaiwa school, keep doing it. It's great. Don't stop. But come to this program, come to the EST webinar to learn the strategic, logical, powerful communication techniques that are going to help you get to that next level in your international career. Don't forget, EST's goal is to enable amazing people with amazing ideas to reach their global potential. All right, time for the final quiz. Are you ready? Here we go. Let's get it up. Here we go. All right, question number one. So what's the strategy of using opinion phrases, like the way I see it, before you introduce your pros and cons? So A, it shows your position is based on just your experience or your feeling and not fact. B, you're showing that you're open to negotiate on these points. This is not concrete. And C, you're not sure whether what you are saying is true or not, just an opinion. So choose two answers. Question number two, why do we often give a total number before introducing our pros and cons? So we say something like, there are three important disadvantages, or there are two clear advantages. So A, it shows you have control over your thought process. B, people like numbers. Or C, it's a useful expectation management technique. Choose two answers. Question one, two answers. Question two, two answers. All right, I'm going to give you 45 seconds. All right, let's go. All right, data coming in. 32% of people voting so far. Very fast, very fast. 25 seconds. 20 seconds. Okay, we've had about 66% of people voting. Yeah, about 10 seconds. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Okay. All right, let's have a look at the results. So question number 1. Yeah, I was looking for A and B here. So it shows your position is based on your feeling, not fact, not necessarily fact. This is important. We want the audience to understand that I don't have data to support this. This is just based on my feeling or my personal experience. And B, we didn't talk about this, but this is important. And 100% of people chose this. Yes. B, it shows that you are not fixed in your position, that you are ready to negotiate, you're ready to discuss. Great. C, you're not sure whether what you're saying is true. I think this is also okay as well. I was looking for A and B as the best answers, but I think C is also okay. So question number 2. What? I've never seen that. Whoa. 100% perfect. So yes, giving the number shows you have control of your thought processes, and C, it's expectation management. And really, that is a big part of communication, expectation management. And that's a skill we don't learn at Kaiwa schools. We don't learn how to manage our audience's expectations. It's a strategic approach. All right,